My beloved child, I need you to pause, just for a few moments. Still your heart. Silence the noise around you. Set your phone down for a little while if you must, but do not leave. Because in these next few minutes I will speak to you, not through sound, but through a gentle echo deep within your soul. I need you to open your heart. I need you to listen with your whole being, because it's possible, just possible, that this could be the most important moment of your life, a moment that might change the entire course of the journey you are on. Perhaps you paused on this video out of curiosity, drawn by something you couldn't quite explain. But my precious one, do not think this is just a random moment. No, this is not by chance. This is a divine appointment I have orchestrated long before you became aware. This is the moment I have been waiting for. A moment when heaven and earth fall silent, so I can speak directly into your heart. My beloved, I see you. I see into the depths of your soul, the place where unspoken desires quietly reside, where hidden wounds lie behind your worn-out smile, where long nights stretch into silence as you search for something you can't even name. But here you are, and your heart has trembled at the touch of this message. Not by accident, but because an invisible call has echoed within you. You are searching, perhaps for a flicker of light in the darkness, a word of comfort in the storm, a second chance, or simply someone who understands deeply enough to say, I know you are tired. And now it is I who say this to you. What you long for, what your soul has been seeking amid life's tangled crossroads, is not something far off or unfamiliar. It is me. I am not merely a distant idea or vague concept. I am the one who has always been near to you, who whispered into your heart when it was breaking, who embraced your spirit in silence when the world turned its back on you. You don't need to come to me in perfection. You don't need to arrive well put together, without flaw. You only need to come as you are, with an honest heart, with tears if they fall, with all the weakness you've tried so hard to hide. For I am not looking for perfection in you. I am looking for truth. You don't have to be better or holier or more righteous to be loved by me. My love is not a reward for the deserving. It is a gift for the soul willing to receive it. I am your hope in the sleepless nights, your peace in the midst of chaos, your refreshing water in the deserts of life. I am the whisper in your mind when you think you are utterly alone. I am the one who has walked through every storm with you, even when you didn't recognize it. All those times you stumbled but stood back up, it wasn't only because you were strong, but because I was lifting you with my unseen hands. Every time you wanted to give up but somehow had the strength to keep going, it was because I was quietly sustaining you. Do you remember those moments when it seemed like every door had closed, and then suddenly something miraculous happened? That wasn't coincidence. That was me. Have you ever whispered, "Thank God," when something good came just in time? That was my mark upon your life. Have you ever felt warmth in your heart in the middle of what seemed like the coldest season? That warmth was me. I come not only to tell you that I am what you've been searching for, but also to remind you that you have always been precious in my eyes. You are not invisible. You are not forgotten. Even when others don't understand you, I do. Even when others walk away, I remain. Even when you turn your back on yourself, I wait, with unwavering love. There is no mistake too great for me to withdraw my affection, no wound too deep that I cannot heal. If today you feel depleted, I invite you to draw near to me. Do not fear, do not hesitate. Come, just as you are, with all the truth that lives in your heart. I do not come to judge you, I come to embrace you. I do not come to ask why you are weak. I come to tell you that you don't have to keep pretending to be strong. I do not come to add more burdens. I come to lift the burdens from your shoulders. You are not alone, and starting over is not some distant, unreachable hope. With me, every day is a new beginning. No past can bind you when I have opened a future before you. No darkness is thick enough to block the light I shine. If you have lost your way, I am the path. If you feel disoriented, I am the guiding light. If you can no longer believe in yourself, know that I believe in you. I know you were created with purpose, and your presence on this earth is no accident. My beloved child, give me the chance to enter the deepest places of your soul, the places you've never invited anyone into. Let me reach into the core of your pain, and from there, sow the seeds of new life. Let me be the one before whom you do not have to hide your weakness, the one you can weep with, the one you can lean on without fear of being judged. You don't need to go far to find me. I am not in some distant realm you cannot reach. I am right here, so near that if you open your heart just a little, I will rush in like a stream that refreshes the dry ground. I do not promise a life without hardship, but I promise you this: you will never again face hardship alone. I will walk with you, support you, lift you, and carry you through every storm. In the quiet moments, in between the noise and haste of life, if you still your soul long enough, you will hear a voice, gentle yet full of power, resounding in the depths of your being. That voice is not of this world. It does not come from logic or fleeting emotions. It is an eternal invitation, a calling from me, your Creator. I am softly whispering to you through the image of my beloved Son, Jesus Christ, the one who stretched out his arms on the cross, not to condemn you, but to welcome you, to draw you into the everlasting mercy of my heart. Have you ever paused and looked upon his image, eyes full of love, hands pierced for love, heart wounded for the pain of humanity? He did not exempt himself from the brutal suffering, not because he was powerless, but because he chose to remain in the agony so that you could be set free. My love for you was revealed most powerfully at that cross. It is not a theoretical love or empty promise, but a love that endured, that sacrificed, that died in your place, just so you would know you have never been abandoned. Do not let the mistakes of your past convince you that you are unworthy. I am not waiting for you to come to me with a spotless soul and a perfect life. I have loved you even in your darkest days, when you felt lost, when you stumbled and fell, when your direction was nowhere to be found, when you felt that no one could understand you, when you believed you had strayed too far to return. That was the very moment I saw you, sought you out, and stood ready to carry you in my arms, if only you would open your heart, even just a little. Jesus suffered, not merely to make a statement to the world, but to etch an unshakable truth into your soul. You are a treasure in my eyes. If you were the only soul left on this earth, the price he paid, every drop of blood, every groan of agony, every moment of mockery and beating, he would still have borne it for you alone. Not out of obligation, but out of love. Not for recognition, but from the deep longing to bring you back to my heart. I did not come to condemn you, nor to expose your failures for all to see. I came to wipe away your tears, to embrace the pain you thought no one could possibly understand. I came to remind you that in my eyes you are never a burden, and it is never too late. What I have prepared for you cannot be destroyed by your missteps. For my mercy is always greater than any sin. You do not have to strive to earn my love. I love you because you belong to me. Look to the cross, where justice and mercy meet, where the love of heaven was written in blood. When Jesus stretched out his arms, he embraced your shattered past, your hurting present, and your uncertain future, all so that he could offer you a new life in return. A life no longer ruled by fear, guilt, or shame, but a life made whole in love, hope, and peace. You no longer have to live as a wanderer in a wounded world, searching for worth and identity. I have called you by name, and in me you are my beloved child, chosen, forgiven, and empowered. No one can take that from you, for I myself have declared it over you. Perhaps you've grown used to the feeling that you're not good enough, not important enough. But my dear one, I do not see you through the eyes of the world. I see you through the eyes of the Father's love. I see the potential, the beauty, the strength that even you have not dared to believe exists within you. I see every tear you've shed in silence, every time you've hidden your pain, every night you've struggled to pray, even if only through sighs, and I, with an unchanging love, have my arms open wide, ready to welcome you, like a father running into the road to embrace his lost child returning home. I know you're not perfect, and that does not distance me from you. On the contrary, it draws me closer, for I did not come to walk with the flawless, but to heal the brokenhearted, to lift up the weary, and to restore those who have lost all hope. I am your safe refuge, the lamp that guides you through the night, the place where you can cry, laugh, be weak, and be made new again. I know, right now your heart may be overflowing with emotion. Perhaps you're stunned by what you've just read. Perhaps you're wondering, could these words really be true? Am I just imagining this? Maybe your mind is still wrestling with doubt, unanswered questions, silent uncertainties echoing within. And yet, at this very moment, something deep inside you is being stirred. Something beyond reason yet clearly recognized by your heart. It is I, your Creator, your Divine Father, am here, very near. Not distant, not somewhere far off in the cold expanse of the universe, but right now, I am beside you, gently touching your soul with the tender and powerful presence of my being. Not with thunderous noise or spectacular signs, but with a quiet whisper, soft and subtle, slipping through the layers of defense you have built to protect yourself from pain. I know you have been hurt. I see every fracture within your heart, each disappointment, every betrayal, the dreams that never came to be, and the careless words that made you doubt your worth. I see how hard you've tried to hold your smile, to keep anyone from noticing the storm inside. I know there were nights you lay awake, wrestling with questions about your purpose, your value, and my presence. And perhaps you even blamed me. Perhaps you asked where I was when you needed me most. But my beloved one, Know this: I have never left you, not even for a second. Now, in this very moment, I am whispering to you, not in the language of man, but in the sacred language of the Spirit. It's the peace beginning to rise within you for no logical reason. It's the warmth flowing through your soul when you thought it had long turned to stone. It's the silent certainty that says, I'm no longer alone. I invite you to pause. You don't have to do anything. You don't have to try to understand everything. You don't have to prove anything to anyone, not even to yourself. Just be still and open your heart. Take a deep breath, a deep, full breath, so the noise can fall away and only the presence remains, me and you. This is no coincidence. It is no accident that you are reading these words. This is a divine appointment I have waited for, a moment in time where you and I, just the two of us, meet in holiness and absolute love. You don't have to become someone else. You don't have to fix yourself to earn my acceptance. I love you, not the perfect version of you that you strive to be, but you, with all your cracks, unresolved struggles, and the broken pieces you thought no one could ever love. But I am not like anyone else. I am the one who sees what you try to hide and still reaches out to hold you. No judgment, no coldness, only love and forgiveness. Maybe you've never felt this kind of love from anyone. Maybe from a very young age you learned to withdraw to avoid being hurt. But I am here to tell you, it is time for you to be loved without fear. It is time for you to lay down every burden and truly rest in my arms. I won't promise a life without challenges, but I promise you will never face them alone, for I am your safe refuge, your strength when you are weary, the one who listens even when you have no words left to speak. I have seen every tear you've cried, every unspoken longing, every silent ache of loneliness. I see it all, and I never turn away. I hold every whisper of your heart like the most sacred prayer, cradling them like seeds waiting for their season to bloom. So, my beloved, remain still just a while longer. Do not rush to return to the noise that waits outside. Stay here, with me. In this sacred quiet, I want to whisper one more truth into your heart. You belong to me. There is no one who can take your place in my heart. No mistake you've made is too great to erase your worth in my eyes. No path you've wandered is too long or too lost for me to find you. The love I have for you does not depend on your accomplishments. It is unshaken by time, free of conditions, and without end. When you are lost, I am your light. When you are weary, I am your rest. When you are broken, I am your healing. When you feel unseen or misunderstood, I am the one who knows you more deeply than anyone ever could. Believe this: the encounter between you and me today is not a coincidence. It is the beginning of a new journey, a journey of healing, of restoration, and of abundant life, one that I have prepared for you since before the foundations of the world. So, do not leave too quickly. Do not let anything distract you from this moment. It is a gift, a holy moment in which I am gently knocking at the door of your heart. Open the door. I have been waiting for you for so long. And when you let me in, you will discover that everything you have been searching for, peace, love, truth, forgiveness, and meaning, is found in me. I am always ready to give it all to you, fully and without withholding. There is something I need you to know, and I can no longer wait to say it. This may be the final time I reach out to your heart before the doors close. I do not speak these words to alarm you, but to awaken you. I do not say this with anger or threat, but with the aching tenderness of a father who fears losing the child he loves more than anything. I am calling you urgently, sincerely, with deep longing, because I know time is not as plentiful as you believe. You may think you still have a lifetime to seek, to return, to make things right. But I see what you do not yet see. The time is much shorter than it seems. There are things in life that can wait. Some dreams can be delayed, some choices can be revisited, but there are sacred moments, divine invitations, that come only once, and if missed may never return in the same way, with the same preparation of heart I am giving you now. And this moment, right now, is one of them. You are standing at a fragile threshold between light and darkness, between life and being lost. I cannot remain silent anymore. My heart, beating for you, breaking for you, is crying out, because I do not want to lose you. No, I will not force you. I never have. True love never forces. It only invites. It waits. It sacrifices in quiet so that love may be chosen freely. But there are times when love must speak loudly, because if I do not pour out all that is in my heart today, tomorrow you may no longer be listening. Not because I will withdraw my invitation, but because the door of time may close without warning in a moment you do not expect. Do you know, my beloved, that each passing day carries away a portion of precious opportunity? And there are opportunities prepared in heaven just for you, but if you don't step into them, they won't return. Not because I wish to punish you, but because there are seasons, specific, appointed moments, when I long to do a deep work within your life. If you delay, you might miss the very deliverance you've been praying for all this time. I know what you need. I know how your soul aches for change. Yet in your hesitation, it is you who stands outside the very door of freedom I have already opened. I do not want you to live with regret. I don't want you to wake up one day only to realize you've wandered far from my original calling. Time is not always patient. Some things, if not embraced in the now, will be swept away in the current of life. And your soul, the most precious part of you, the very thing I crafted with divine care, cannot be forgotten amidst the meaningless busyness, the fleeting concerns, and the things that have no power to save you. My child, what is unfolding right now goes far beyond fleeting emotions or a momentary stirring of the heart. This is the most urgent truth you will ever hear, for it concerns your eternal life, the divine destiny I ordained for you even before you were formed in your mother's womb. This isn't about yesterday or today, it's about eternity. And it matters so deeply that if you reject it, you will lose the most precious thing of all, your very soul. I see clearly what you've tried to hide. The poor choices, the moments you stumbled, the times your conscience screamed in silence. I was there, not merely as a distant observer, but as the one who suffered with you. I saw your tears fall after decisions you couldn't undo. I know every regret you've buried deep within, hoping time would erase them. But they remain, like scars that never fully heal, whispering reminders of what you wish you could have done differently. You don't say it out loud, but I know. I know you think that some of the things you've done make you unworthy. Sometimes, when you look in the mirror, you barely recognize yourself. There are moments you wonder if I even want to look at you again. And perhaps the most painful thought of all, you think I can't forgive you. My beloved, that is what breaks my heart more than anything. Do you think I don't know? I've seen it all. Every act done in secret, every fleeting thought that crossed your mind, every word spoken in pain that wounded others and then circled back to torment you, all of it, I know. Nothing escapes my gaze. But what I want you to hear, not with your ears, but with the depths of your soul, is this. No matter how great you think your mistakes are, my love and my mercy are far, far greater. No, not a single sin of yours lies beyond the borders of my forgiveness. Not one action, no matter how vile you may think it was, can stop me from wanting to embrace you. I have seen you from beginning to end, and still I choose to love you. I still want you to come home. I have never changed my mind about that. Have you ever wondered why I keep calling your name, even though I know everything about you? It's because I don't see you through the lens of your past. I see you through the magnificent potential I placed within you. I see you with the eyes of the Creator, the one who formed you with hands of love, the one who has never once regretted making you. I do not look at you with judgment, but with the heart of a father longing for his child to return home. I know the hardest thing isn't believing that I can forgive you. It's believing that you can forgive yourself. You have imprisoned yourself in a cell of guilt and self-condemnation. You think you have to suffer to pay the price. But my child, the price has already been paid, in full, on the cross, by my only begotten Son, Jesus. Not so that I would have the right to forgive you, but so that you could believe that forgiveness is real. You don't have to carry that burden any longer. I did not give you a sentence of punishment. I gave you freedom. I do not expose your faults to shame you, but to help you see this. Even when you have fallen into the deepest pit of sin, my arms are still long enough to pull you out. And when I lift you up, I leave no trace of condemnation on you. I cleanse, I renew, I restore, and I call you by a new name, not failure, not unworthy, but beloved, chosen, the one I will never abandon. Do you know that in the very moments you despised yourself, I looked at you and said, I love you? When you cried out that you couldn't bear it any longer, I was the strength holding you together. When you felt worthless, I was the one who declared your worth by the life of my only Son. You are precious, not because you have never made mistakes, but because I have sealed your soul with an everlasting mark. If only you knew how much it grieves me when you doubt my love for you, perhaps you would understand why I keep calling out to you with such urgency. I am not afraid of your distance. I only fear the silence growing so loud that you no longer hear the voice of love. I do not want you to lose the sense that you can still begin again. I do not want anything, no mistake, no sin, no shadow from the past, to convince you that you've gone too far for my love to reach. Listen to me once more, my beloved. There is nothing, let me emphasize, nothing you have ever done that can make me stop loving you. My mercy does not run dry. It is not fragile. It has no end. It is deeper than the oceans, wider than the skies, stronger than death itself. And because of this, you still have a chance. Not just to be forgiven, but to be fully alive, to be reborn, to step into a new life in me. If right now, there's even a flicker of hope rising in your heart, a faint sense of relief, no matter how small, know that this is the sign of resurrection beginning within your soul. I know you have carried the weight of guilt, shame, and regret for far too long. I know you have wondered, again and again, if you could ever begin again. if there is still a way home. And now, if your heart is starting to open to my words, if, somewhere deep inside, you hear a quiet whisper saying, maybe there's still hope, then I invite you to take one more step into true freedom. Let yourself declare it. Open your mouth or take hold of a pen and write it down, not just on paper, but as if carving it onto your very soul, this declaration of faith. I am forgiven and I am free. Do not take this act lightly. It is not just a string of meaningless words. It is the trumpet blast of restoration echoing in the spiritual realm, a proclamation that shatters invisible chains. When you dare to speak these words, you are rising with courage and telling the darkness that has surrounded you, you have no power over me anymore. When you write them down, you are flinging open the door to let light flood into a place that has long been shrouded in silence and fear. This is an act of faith. It is a choice, not one based on fleeting emotions, but born from a deep awareness that you no longer belong to condemnation, but to love and grace. Do not wait until you feel good enough to declare it. Declare it now, in the very moment you feel your weakest, for it is precisely then that my power is made perfect in you. You have been forgiven, and you are free. Write it down with all the faith you can muster, even if it's just the tiniest mustard seed, because I will take that small seed of faith and cause it to grow into a tree of life within your heart. Let these words become the first testimony of your renewed journey. Don't hesitate. Don't be afraid of making mistakes. Every stroke of the pen you make is a step toward truth. It is a sign that the chains of the past no longer hold you captive. My child, as you write and speak those words, I am watching you with an indescribable joy. I see a soul that has just been set free, a child who once fell, now beginning to rise again in a new light. I see the divine trembling within you, not perfection, but sincerity. Not outward righteousness, but a heart that repents, hopes, and dares to believe there is one who has never stopped loving you. You are not alone. All of heaven rejoices when one sinner turns back. There are things your eyes cannot yet see, but when you declare these words of faith, thousands of angels are rejoicing. All of the spiritual realm bears witness to your return, not a return to shame, but a return to your identity as my child. And I, your heavenly Father, am smiling with unspeakable pride. Do you know what brings me joy? Not grand deeds or eloquent prayers, but when you, in all your weakness, have the courage to say, I believe grace is enough for me. When you dare to trust my love more than the lies in your mind, when you choose to rise up and write that you are forgiven, even if every feeling inside you resists, that is when you are proclaiming truth over your life. Every time you write, every time you speak those words, you are planting seeds of light in a land once barren with darkness, and I promise you, those seeds will grow. A day will come when you no longer write merely out of faith, but because you see the change in yourself, peace returning, a lighter heart, pain no longer tormenting you as it once did. These are the signs of restoration. If the words are hard to speak aloud, then whisper them. If your strength only allows for a few words, then just write 3. I am forgiven. Don't worry about how it looks. I don't look at the form. I look at your heart. I see your smallest efforts and I count them beautiful. Just take the small steps, and I will take 1,000 steps toward you. The declaration you write today is not only for today. Keep it close. Read it again whenever you forget who you are. Remind your heart that you no longer live under condemnation, but under the righteousness I have given you. Remind yourself, each time darkness whispers, each time past sins knock on the door of your mind, that you have been forgiven and you are free, that freedom is real, enduring, eternal. And if in this moment your heart is trembling with unfamiliar rhythms, if your eyes begin to blur and tears threaten to fall, don't hold them back. Don't feel ashamed or weak. These are not tears of failure, but the most sacred kind. Tears that flow from the deepest place in your soul, the place I have just touched with my healing love. They are the signs of life stirring once more, of a weary heart that has finally been embraced by truth. You are loved. You are forgiven. You have been given a brand new beginning. Let the tears fall if they must. Do not suppress the sacred work that is unfolding within you. I am here, not with eyes of judgment, but with arms wide open, gently wiping away every tear from your face. I am cleansing each shard that has long clung to your soul. Every tear that falls is not wasted. They are silent prayers, the cry of your spirit being met with grace from heaven. You may not have the words to express it all, but I understand. I receive it all. My beloved, this is not merely a touching moment. This is a sacred hour that marks the beginning of an entirely new chapter in your life. Like a pristine page, untouched by ink, I set before you a future unbound by the chains of your past. You no longer need to look back, sifting through old mistakes, nor torment yourself over what cannot be changed. Today, by the power of my unconditional love, I am giving you a new chapter, clean, radiant, and overflowing with hope. I no longer see you through the lens of the past, all those former things, mistakes, wounds, failures. They have been erased. They are no longer marks to be remembered or recounted. They have been buried deep in the sea of my mercy, a place where no one, not even you, can retrieve them to accuse you again. You are not who you once believed yourself to be. You are a new creation, reborn through the unwavering love I have for you. I know you once lived in fear that the past would define you forever, that the wrongs done or suffered would always haunt you. But, my dear one, that is a lie. I do not allow your past to imprison you. When I call your name, it is not in condemnation, but in an invitation to freedom. No one else has the authority to define you through judgment. Only I do. And I say this: you are loved, you are chosen, you are forgiven, and you are being restored. And from this point on, we will walk together, not back through thorn-covered paths, but forward into a future more radiant than anything you've ever dared to dream. You will not walk alone. I will go with you every step of the way, through every sunrise and every dark night, through every moment of weakness and strength. I will never abandon you, never leave you stranded mid-journey. Instead, I will lift you when you stumble, speak encouragement when you are weary, and remind you that you are on the right path, returning to the glorious destiny I designed for you from the very beginning. You do not need to have all the answers right now. You do not need to fully grasp the complete plan I have for you. The only thing I ask is that you continue to trust. Keep placing your trembling hand in mine, because in my hands nothing is random. Every step you take, no matter how small, carries purpose. Even if you still feel weak, still wrestling with unresolved things, I see you moving forward, and oh, how that brings me joy. Believe this. I am never in a hurry with you. I know you need time to heal, to learn again how to trust, how to love, how to live, and I will patiently walk with you through each of those transformations. Change does not come from your own strength. It flows from me, the one who lives within you and is transforming you day by day. Allow me to continue this work. Keep your heart open, keep trusting, keep letting me touch even the most hidden places you once kept locked away. You don't need to become perfect to be loved. You are loved so that, day by day, you may be made whole. I do not love you because you change. I love you so that you can change. My love is the foundation, not a reward. And it is this very love that will be your strength to keep going. To face the future not with anxiety, but with gratitude and hopeful expectation. My child, if your heart is still aching, if the tears have not yet ceased to fall, let them flow freely. I am holding your soul in my most tender embrace. I am wiping away your tears, not with a cloth, but with my very mercy. Every tear you shed, I treasure as a precious gem. I do not take lightly the pain you have endured. I cherish it as a sacred part of the journey you are walking toward complete healing. My heart overflows with unspeakable joy as I see you open yourself to receive the forgiveness I have longed to bestow. I see your soul being cleansed, little by little, like an old cloth washed in the spring of grace. You cannot begin to imagine the joy surging within me in this moment. Like a father who has found his lost child. Like a heart rediscovering the rhythm of love once thought lost forever. I do not take this moment lightly, for each time a soul returns, all of heaven erupts in celebration. And today, my beloved, you are the reason for that song. I treasure every second by your side, every breath you take as you allow my love to uphold you. I know you are beginning to feel a gentle, yet profound strength stirring within your soul. This is not something abstract. This is me. I am enveloping you in an embrace you cannot see, but can surely feel, guiding you into a new life that is no longer defined by the past, but by eternal love. And now, as you have tasted the sweetness of forgiveness, as you have experienced the lightness and peace that grace brings, I desire to place something deeply important in your heart, not for you to keep only for yourself, but for you to become a bearer of this light to other souls who are longing for the same, to those who weep in silence as you once did, to broken hearts awaiting a word of comfort, a healing touch, a fragile hope in the midst of darkness. My child, this world is filled with souls who have lost their way, not because they chose to, but because they have never heard that there is one who loves them unconditionally. Some still believe they must carry the full weight of their wrongs, because no one would ever forgive them. There are children of mine so wounded that they no longer dare to believe in love, no longer dare to lift their heads to seek me. They live in the shadow of shame, in the gnawing loneliness of each day, burdened by things they cannot forget and do not know how to release. My beloved, you have walked that path. You know what it feels like. And precisely because you have been healed, you are now called to become an instrument of healing. My love did not come just to fill your heart. It came to overflow through you, like an endless river, watering the dry and barren ground around you. Do not think you must be perfect to share this love. I do not call the flawless. I choose the broken to become witnesses of restoration. The very tears you have cried, the scars you once bore, will become living testimony that there is a love great enough to redeem, a grace deep enough to reach the darkest depths. Others will see a truth in you. If you could be forgiven and healed, then they too can have hope. I want you to become my extended hand on this earth, not through eloquent sermons, but through a gentle gaze, an honest word, a small act born of a heart full of compassion. You may not realize it, but sometimes just a simple, heartfelt sentence, "I've been where you are," is enough to open a door for a soul on the edge of collapse. Do not worry that you are not enough. I will give you every word you need to speak, every action you need to take. When you walk in my will, you do not walk in your own strength, but in the power of the Holy Spirit. You will see, though the results are not always immediate, every time you sow a seed of love, I am taking note. And I never let any act of obedience go to waste. My beloved, the world needs people like you, those who have known what darkness is, yet have stepped into the light. Those who have fallen, but now rise again in humility. Those who do not hide their wounds, but allow them to become signs of miracles. I have not called you to remain silent, but to speak of the wonders I have worked within you. I did not save you merely so you could live in peace. I saved you so you could become part of a greater mission, to bring my love to the souls who are longing for even the smallest flicker of light. And you never have to do this alone. Every time you speak words of love, I am speaking with you. Every time you embrace someone in pain, I am embracing them through your arms. Every time you pray for someone who is lost, I am moving through that prayer. I walk with you not only on your path back to me, but in every new step you are about to take. You will see, when you give love, you will receive it back in abundance. My love never runs dry, and when you allow it to flow through your life, it will renew the world around you. Begin in the smallest places: a friend, a family member, a stranger sitting quietly in sorrow that no one notices. Speak up, reach out your hand. Let the mercy you have received become the bridge for them to reach the truth. And every time you share, I will add to you a new joy, a joy unlike any other, the joy of one who is not only healed, but who brings healing to others. As the burdens within you begin to lift, as the darkness of your past loses its grip on your mind, and as your heart begins to feel a lightness it has never known before, I now want to lead you into something deeper, a foundational and precious truth about you, the reason why you are here, the reason why you are still breathing in this world, and why your life is not a random sequence of meaningless events. You are not the result of an accident or some malfunction in the workings of the world. You are not just a stray speck of dust drifting aimlessly through the vast ocean of life. You are my intentional creation. Every heartbeat you've ever had, every breath you've ever drawn, every year you've ever lived, they are all part of a divine plan woven from my perfect love and wisdom. Before you saw your first light in this world, I had already seen you. Before anyone ever called your name, I had placed a name for you deep within my heart. I did not only form your outward beauty, but I breathed into your soul a part of my very self, a spark of eternity carrying a purpose that only you can fulfill. Perhaps right now, you don't see it clearly. Perhaps everything still feels uncertain. Perhaps you have asked, why am I here? Do I matter in this world? And I say to you, clearly, without ambiguity or doubt, You are here because I want you here. Not sooner, not later, not somewhere else, but precisely here and now. The time and place of your existence are exact, designed, and arranged by my hand. Within you I have sown seeds, perhaps ones you have never noticed. They are the things that stir your heart. They are the compassion you feel when you witness someone else's pain. They are your sensitivity to the sorrow of others, your ability to perceive what others may overlook. They are the quiet dreams, sometimes small and seemingly foolish, that you once dared to hold. They are the passion that arises when you do something that makes time itself seem to stand still. You may have thought these were fleeting emotions, but to me, they are the sacred imprints of the mission I have placed within your soul. No one else can take your place. No one else can love the way you love, feel the way you feel, or give the way you give. You are an irreplaceable piece of my divine tapestry. Without you, the world would not be whole. Others may not see this, but I do. And I know that every small part of who you are has been intentionally placed to fulfill something far greater than you can imagine. I am not rushing you to finish everything all at once. I do not demand that you step into your great calling before you are ready. But I do want you to begin to recognize that every experience you've walked through, both the blessings and the bitter failures, has been shaping you, preparing you, refining you for the very mission you were created to fulfill. I do not waste anything in your life. Every tear, every stumble, every season of loneliness that once felt hopeless, they are all of value in my hands. I have used them to deepen your patience, to awaken your compassion, to build a soul that not only understands weakness, but knows how to lift others when they are weary. You have been refined like gold in the fire, not to be destroyed, but to shine brightly on the day I call you to rise and live for a purpose greater than yourself. Have you ever considered that the pain you've endured might be part of my good plan? Not because I delight in your suffering, but because I see the end result. A heart that knows how to empathize, a soul that has learned humility, a person who can kneel beside the broken and say, I've been there, and I am here with you. I have given you gifts, whether you recognize them or not. They may not be the kind that dazzles or draws admiration. Sometimes your gift is simply the ability to listen without judgment, to offer a warm presence that makes others feel safe. Sometimes your gift is your quiet endurance, your eyes filled with compassion, your gentle voice that can dissolve someone else's darkest day. Do not underestimate those small things, for in my hands they can shake the course of destiny. My beloved child, I do not require you to become someone else. I do not compare you to anyone. All I ask is that you have the courage to step into your true self and believe that just as you are, with all your imperfections, with all your unanswered questions, I can still use you to do wonders. I will continue to guide you, as I always have. I will open the right doors at the right time, lead you to the right places, and place you beside the right people. You need only keep walking with a tender heart, continuing to desire to know my will. I will not let you go astray, for my hand is still holding yours, and little by little I will reveal to you what your part is in the great plan I am unfolding upon this earth. My beloved child, I understand. I truly do. I have seen the long days when you quietly walked through the crossroads of life, carrying within your heart a vague emptiness that you couldn't name. I have watched you wake up on mornings when nothing stirred your excitement. I have seen you stare into the distance and whisper to yourself, "What am I even living for?" These moments are not foreign to me. I have witnessed every second you wrestled with a sense of aimlessness, as if caught in a never-ending cycle, where everything felt meaningless. Even the dreams you once cherished no longer brought you fulfillment. Perhaps you've followed paths the world defines as successful. Perhaps you've sought meaning in fame, wealth, status, or the approval of others. You believed that if you could achieve enough, be good enough, be loved enough, then finally peace would come. But when you reached the heights you once longed for, your heart still felt empty. I know that feeling well. The hollow ache of having touched everything, yet still unable to fill the void inside. My dear one, it's not that you were wrong for searching. It's just that you've been searching in places that could never meet the deepest needs of your soul. You were created by me, and only I can satisfy the innermost part of your being. Nothing else can take my place. No earthly glory can fill the space I designed to be occupied by my presence in your heart. I see you. I understand the weariness you carry from clinging to things that no longer bring life. I see the times you smiled while your heart grew heavy. I feel the weight of your every breath when you no longer know where home is. But today, I come not to make you afraid or ashamed. I come to extend my hand and gently say, "Let me lead you." You don't have to keep struggling on your own. You don't have to find your way out of the maze by yourself. Take my hand. Let me be your guide, the one who brings you out of the chaos and into a new journey. A life not just to survive, but to live, fully, purposefully, filled with love and radiating goodness to those around you. I have intricately designed your life, not according to the standards of the world, but according to a divine blueprint woven with my love and infinite wisdom. Every step, every opportunity, every relationship you will have, they are all part of a grand and beautiful plan beyond what you could ever imagine. Nothing is random. Even your tears, even the times you've fallen, I can use them to build something lasting and beautiful. I do not promise that following me will be without challenges, but I promise it will be meaningful. You will no longer wake up in a fog of uncertainty. You will feel joy from the depths of your soul. Not because everything is perfect, but because you will know you are living in alignment with the very reason you were created. You will see each day as part of a bigger picture, and every small act, no matter how insignificant it may seem, will play a part in an eternal mission that only you can fulfill in your own unique way. You will learn how to love, not with a love that wavers with emotion, but with the steadfast love that comes from me. You will learn to give, not out of pressure, but because your heart overflows. You will learn how to live, not chasing approval, but knowing you are already fully known and fully accepted by the one who created all things. I know you may feel unprepared. You might be thinking that you have too many weaknesses, too many flaws left to fix, that you're not good enough, not strong enough. But, my beloved, it is I who will go with you. You don't need to enter this new life relying on your own strength, for I myself will give you power, wisdom, courage, and perseverance. I will be your endless source of strength when you feel weary. I will remind you of your purpose when you get caught up in temporary things. I will lift you up every time you stumble and whisper to your heart, "You are not alone. I am here. I have always been here." Imagine a life where you wake up each day with a deep sense of anticipation, not because you know what will happen, but because you know that whatever comes, you are on the right path, living out your purpose and wrapped in my unchanging love. A life where you're not only pursuing personal success, but also becoming a part of someone else's transformation, bringing life, light, and hope to those still wandering, just as you once were. I invite you into this journey, a journey of discovery, of transformation, and of becoming. You will begin to see yourself unfold, like a tightly closed flower that, after a long winter night, finally opens under the first sunlight of spring. And this unfolding will not come by striving, but by walking with me, by letting me hold your hand, walk beside you, and call forth the beauty that has always lived within you. My dear one, delay no longer. Do not let another day pass without living true to who you really are. A creation born of love, made to live in love, and called to share love. The life I have for you is not a race to be won, but a beautiful journey to be walked, step by step, in the steadfast presence of your Creator. Now that your soul has begun to absorb the truth that you are loved, forgiven, and created with divine purpose, I want you to take a moment to listen to the gentle echoes of your own heart. The whisper you may have ignored, or dared not believe was real. Pause for a while and reflect. What truly moves your heart? What makes your eyes glisten when you think about it? What stories break your heart? What situations leave you restless? What burdens keep you awake at night? Perhaps it's the sorrow of seeing a child abandoned, the deep urge to help the weak rise again, or the longing to heal the pain others carry on their shoulders. You may have labeled it as sensitivity, or too dreamy, or even as a burden within you, but today I tell you this: those very things are the torchlight guiding you closer to your true calling. Don't dismiss those feelings as fleeting or meaningless. Don't downplay the things that stir your soul. Not everyone feels what you feel. Not everyone is awakened by the same concerns. My beloved, this is not by accident. It is not coincidence. I am the one who awakened your heart in a unique way. I planted within you the aches you cannot ignore, the questions you cannot extinguish. All of these are divine clues, sacred signs pointing you toward what you are truly called to do in this world. Have you ever noticed that there are abilities, gifts within you that others may not possess? That certain things come to you easily, naturally, whether it's listening compassionately to someone's burdens, writing words that uplift others, or simply being present at just the right moment to bring comfort? I have placed these gifts within you, not so that you would keep them for yourself, but so you would use them as tools in the mission I have woven into your being before the foundations of the world were laid. Perhaps you believe there is nothing special about you. Perhaps you've looked at others and thought they are the ones truly worthy of doing something great. But I am not in search of copies. I am not looking for perfection by the world's standards. I am looking for you. Yes, you, with your tender heart, with your honesty, with every fragment that once broke and has now been mended. I need you because no one else can take your place in my design. The longings in your heart are not random. They are the deep stirrings of my spirit within you. The desires that pulse in your soul are streams flowing from my throne. When your heart beats faster at the thought of something, it is a sign that you are drawing nearer to your divine assignment. Pay attention to what brings you to tears, to what makes you feel truly alive. Listen to your heart when it speaks up at the sight of unhealed pain, for in those very places, I am calling you to step into the work I have prepared for you long ago. I am not asking you to accomplish something grand all at once. I do not expect you to change the entire world in a single day. But I am inviting you to begin. Begin right where you are. Begin with the smallest of things. It may be a sincere question of concern, a timely embrace, a word of comfort, full of compassion, a simple act born out of true love. And from there, I will widen your path. You will see that with each step taken in obedience, more light will be revealed. Every time you follow the divine stirring within, true meaning will begin to take root. You will no longer feel empty when you live in alignment with the mission you were born to fulfill. When your soul starts to tremble at the sound of the purpose I quietly planted in you from the very beginning, I sense a divine stirring within you, like a tender sprout emerging after a long and bitter winter, like a beam of light shining into a room that has long sat in shadow. That is when you begin to understand that your life is not just a series of meaningless repetitions, not just a chase after what the world deems valuable, but a journey toward the very thing I personally formed you to complete. When you whisper a hesitant yes, or shout a bold affirmation to the plan I have destined for your life, that moment marks the beginning of a journey into a kind of fulfillment that nothing of this world could ever offer. No amount of money can buy it, no accomplishment can replace it, no spotlight can compare to it, for it is not something external to you, but something that rises from deep within, a perfect harmony between your heart and my divine calling. You will begin to sense something you may never have fully known before. Each morning as you awaken, a gentle yet fierce certainty will settle into your soul. Not a fleeting excitement, but a steady peace, an anchoring awareness that you are living in alignment with your true essence, that you are walking the very path I designed for you, and that every breath, every action, every word you speak is contributing to something far greater than yourself. You will begin to realize that in this new journey, there is no longer any room for the emptiness that once clung to you day after day. In its place flows a stream of living water from within, a stream of fulfillment, of deep meaning, of a love you can no longer keep to yourself. The long, monotonous days that once felt hollow will be replaced with vibrant ones, not because your circumstances are always perfect, but because you will know deep within that every moment you live is a part of an eternal tapestry. And I promise you this, a truth you can carve into your soul: you will never have to walk alone. Every step you take, whether in radiant light or in utter darkness, I am there, not as a distant observer, but as your closest companion. I will walk beside you in silence, yet you will feel my presence in every detail, a timely word of comfort, an unexpected door that opens, a source of strength from where you least expect, a sense of peace that holds you through what once felt unbearable. I will not only walk with you, I will guide you. You may not see the whole path from the beginning, but I will illuminate each step along the way. Like a lamp to your feet, like a light on your path, my words will be the compass that keeps you from going astray. When you stand at important crossroads, I will whisper which way to go. When you feel confused, I will bring clarity. When fear makes you falter, I will remind you, you were not called to live in fear, but in power, in love, and in sound mind. My beloved, I do not promise that you will always feel strong. Along this sacred path, there will be moments when your knees tremble, when it feels like you don't have the strength to go on. But it is precisely in those moments that I will become your strength. When you feel weak, I will lift you with my mighty arm. When you feel like you are not enough, I will be the one who fills you. When you are weary, I will be the place where you lay your head. And when you cry, I will catch every tear like the most precious of gems. Because I do not only want you to live a life of purpose, I want you to know your worth. I want you not only to understand this with your mind, but to experience it with your very life. I did not create you to live in doubt and fear. I created you to trust me, to believe that your future is not abandoned, not uncertain, not unstable, but held and cared for by me in every moment. So today I ask you a question, not to rebuke you, but to invite you. Can you trust me? Can you place in my hands the things you cannot control, the worries about the future, about stability, about safety, about all that remains unseen? Are you willing to release the need to steer everything on your own, so that I, the one who loves you more than anyone ever could, may lead you? Can you dare to believe that the plans I have for you are far better than anything you could ever devise for yourself? I know it's not easy. Trusting me means letting go of control, allowing me to enter the places you've long kept guarded. But I do not come to take away, I come to give. When you entrust your future to me, you lose nothing. Instead, you reclaim what was always yours: peace, faith, deep joy, and a life truly worth living. My beloved, let me write the next chapter of your life story. This chapter will no longer be marked by wandering, but by days truly lived, with unforced joy, with genuine presence, with a wholeness untouched by circumstances. You will see, when you walk in the purpose I've placed within you, each day will carry the fragrance of true life. You will no longer live just for the weekend, or the next holiday, or just to make it through, but to experience my presence in every moment. When you respond to my calling with an open heart, I do not merely offer you a new beginning, a sacred purpose, or a meaningful personal journey. I also set aside for you another precious gift: the people I have handpicked to walk alongside you on this new path. You were never meant to walk alone. You were never meant to face challenges in isolation. You were never meant to struggle in silence, searching for someone who could understand the transformation stirring within your soul. I have already prepared those who will enter your life like a gentle light in the night, like a kind wind carrying the fragrance of grace. Some of them may already be present in your journey, and you may not have recognized that they were sent by me. Others are still on their way, arriving at the exact moment I have appointed. But one thing is certain: I never call anyone to walk a path and leave them in loneliness. I always use the community, the very body of souls who love me, to surround, nourish, and uphold one another. Consider this. Deep in your heart, have you ever longed for a place where you truly belong? A home, not merely built of bricks and stone, but of sincere love. A community not only united in faith, but bonded in heart. A place where you can be yourself without judgment, without abandonment. A place where your joy is shared, your sorrow is understood, and your stumbles are met with genuine compassion. If you have ever yearned for such a place, I want you to know, it is not far from you. I have already appointed for you a spiritual family, a community of those walking in the same direction, seeking me as you do. They are not perfect, but they are sincere. They too have stumbled, have lost their way, have been wounded, but just like you, they have been touched by me, renewed, and are now taking steps forward on a journey of healing and growth. Right here, in this very space where you are listening to my voice, there is a gathering of those who are also listening, also yearning, also believing. A spiritual family is forming and has already begun to take shape, where hearts beat as one, not because of shared interests or similar backgrounds, but because of the same Creator, the same redeeming love, and the same trust in the higher purpose I have placed before them. I know you may have once feared stepping into community. Perhaps you were hurt by places that once claimed to be spiritual families. Maybe you felt you weren't good enough to truly belong. But my beloved, the place I am leading you to does not demand perfection. It is a place where weakness is met with compassion, where even unfinished journeys are honored, where you are not measured or compared, but loved right where you are. And when you choose to step into that embrace, not only to receive but also to give, you will begin to experience a whole new depth of spiritual life. For you were not only created to be healed, but also to bring healing. Not only to be encouraged, but to become one who brings encouragement. Not only to be loved, but to become one who carries love to those who are still searching. Do not hesitate. Do not let old wounds keep you from the new things I long to give you. This spiritual family is not here to replace the relationship between you and me, but to strengthen it, deepen it, and nurture it. You will have those who pray with you when you are weak, those who hold you up when you stumble, those who remind you of your purpose when you lose your way, those who rejoice with you when you win spiritual battles. I know you are introspective. I know it is not easy for you to open your heart. I know you need time, and that is completely okay. You do not have to step into everything all at once, but let your heart gradually open to what I am building around you. Observe the souls who walk in faith, who love me. You will sense a familiar breeze, the breeze of my very spirit at work in them, just as it is in you. Time is slipping away quietly, like fine sand falling through your fingers, and each of those precious moments is drawing humanity closer to the point of intersection between light and darkness, between awakening and destruction. My beloved child, do not remain silent in the midst of the world's chaotic rhythms, for everything that is unfolding echoes from the spiritual realm, like a solemn yet majestic warning from eternity. You see it, the unrest, the ceaseless upheaval, the silent cries of countless lost souls. They are all signs that mankind is approaching an unprecedented turning point. The old days of shallow peace are fading, and you are now living in a time where truth can no longer be hidden, where light and darkness must be clearly divided. I have not come to instill fear in your heart, but to equip you with clearer vision amidst the storm of reality. This is not the time to slumber in false security, but to open your spiritual eyes, to listen with your heart, and to walk in the wisdom I am ready to pour into you. You are not permitted to remain at the border between two worlds. It is time to choose, to stand with the light or to be swallowed by the advancing tide of darkness. My child, every breath you now take is no longer just proof of physical life, but an opportunity for your soul to be cleansed, renewed, and prepared for what is coming. Look around you. False prosperity is crumbling, powers built upon lies are trembling, and those who once seemed invincible are falling, one by one, before the truth. This is the hour when every deception will be unveiled, every mask will be stripped away, and all that remains will be bare truth. A truth that only the courageous and the steadfast in faith. I know this is not easy. I know your heart trembles at what you cannot control. But remember, I will never leave you. I did not create you to wander lost in a labyrinth of fear. On the contrary, I formed you as a lamp filled with oil in the heart of the night, to illuminate, to guide, to rekindle hope in souls that seemed extinguished. The light within you is not a feeble flicker, but a bolt of lightning from heaven, carrying the power to burn through massive walls of deception and despair. Do not back away when the skies grow dark, for darkness can never triumph over the light that comes from me. And do not lose heart when you feel alone, for I walk with you in every step. Even when my presence is not visible to your natural eyes, it resounds deeply within your soul. You are my instrument, not because you are perfect, but because you are willing to be transformed, to be refined, and to be used for a purpose that surpasses your understanding. Do you not perceive it, my child? The great transformation I speak of is not merely a superficial change upon this world, but a divine upheaval of every decayed spiritual structure. The kingdoms built on pride and selfishness will be brought low. Thrones erected through betrayal and tears will be swept away, and in their place, a kingdom of love, justice, and truth will be established. Not by human hands, but by me, and those who dare to rise with hearts untainted by the corruption of this world. Beloved one, do you know that I am calling you to be a part of this divine work? Not to stand as a mere spectator, but to walk alongside me as we write a new chapter in the story of humankind. A chapter of restoration, a chapter of deliverance. You will witness what generations before only dared to dream of. You will behold miracles that do not spring from religion or ritual, but from the living relationship between you and me, between a soul that thirsts for truth and the one who is truth in its fullness. So rise, my beloved. Walk with feet prepared by the gospel of peace. Clothe yourself in the armor of faith. Wield the sword of the living word, and crown your head with the helmet of victory granted by grace. The days ahead will not be easy, but they will be radiant with glory for those who do not let go of my hand. You will hear the cries, you will see the breaking, but amid it all, you will also see me, arms outstretched, heart beating still for you, and a love that never fades. I am calling you with all the love I have for you. Do not turn away from this call. Do not let the busyness of life or the clamor of the world cause you to miss this sacred moment I am giving you. This is your hour. This is the appointed time for you to awaken, to step out of the worn boundaries of the past and to begin living a life worthy of your true identity, a chosen one, a light to this generation, a glorious child of the Creator. Life on this earth, my precious one, is but a fragile breath in the vastness of existence, a fleeting mist that clings to the morning grass only to be swept away by the first rays of sunlight. Whatever you hold in your hands is but temporary. However fast you run, you cannot outrun the turning of time. All that is seen with mortal eyes is but a shadow, passing and perishable. But your soul, the deepest part of you into which I have breathed my life, is beyond the reach of decay. It is eternal. I have seen you even before your first cry echoed in this world. Before anyone called your name, I knew you, understood you, and loved you with a love that required no condition to be proven. I have not only written every day of your life in the book of life, but I have followed each of your steps with the tender watchfulness of a father whose eyes have never strayed from his beloved child. Every morning you awaken, every breath you draw is no accident. It is because my grace continues to flow into your life, holding you steady amid the tides of chaos. My beloved, do not let the years slip away without purpose. Do not wait until the final light of the last day begins to fade before realizing that your whole life was spent circling around passing concerns while neglecting the only thing that gives eternal meaning, me. You were not created to live quietly and fade away like a fallen leaf. You were made to blaze like a fire, kindled by the everlasting love of the Creator. Do not wait until everything around you collapses to come running back to me. Do not wait until your heart is shattered by loneliness to begin seeking my voice in the dark. Come back while you can still hear. Run to me while you still have the strength to take a step. For when you come to me, you will not only find comfort, you will rediscover your truest self, the very one I dreamed of before time began. Countless souls have spent their entire lives chasing after things that fade, fame, wealth, approval, only to find themselves in the end burdened by an emptiness that nothing can fill. Have you ever felt that way in your own heart? That even when everything around you seems full, something deep inside still aches with a longing too vast to name? That is the echo of your soul yearning for my presence. Nothing in this world can take my place in your heart. I am the missing piece that fits the void perfectly, for I am the source, the root, the home your heart has always searched for. My beloved, time does not turn back. Every passing moment is a gentle reminder that your journey here draws closer to its end. And in the end, it won't matter how much you've achieved, but who you've become in me. Titles, accomplishments, and applause will not save your soul. What matters is the love you've lived, the faith you've held on to, and the space you've allowed me to inhabit within you. Do you know what I long for more than anything? Not hollow rituals or memorized prayers devoid of the heart. What I desire is your heart. A heart that yearns for me. A heart that is honest, tender, repentant, and open. Ready for me to enter, renew, heal, and lead. I do not need you to pretend to be strong. I do not ask for perfection. I only ask you to come as you are, even if broken, but willing to be loved. If today were your last day, what would you do differently? Would you finally speak the words of forgiveness you've held back for so long? Would you embrace the ones you've kept at a distance? Would you spend time with me, truly listening, unhurried, present? Don't let these be mere thoughts drifting through your mind. Turn them into actions while you still can, for each day is not meant to draw you further from me, but to pull you closer. Close enough to hear the rhythm of my heart beating. For you. You are not alone in this journey. Every pain you've endured, I've carried with you. Every silent tear you've shed, I've kept in my sacred jar. And every time you looked up to the sky, longing for a sign, a word, a whisper, it was I who spoke to you. Through the wind, through the light, even through the silence, reminding you that I am still here, never having left your side. My beloved, remember this: when all worldly things fade away, the only thing that remains is the relationship between you and me. A bond unbound by space or time, a love untouched by performance or failure. Choose me while you still can. Walk with me, day by day, hour by hour, so that when the final night falls, you will not be afraid, but will smile, knowing you are finally coming home, where I stand waiting with arms wide open. And until that day comes, live as a soul who knows they belong to the light. Walk through this world with wisdom and kindness. Love as I have loved. Forgive as I have forgiven. And give yourself wholly as if today were your last chance to plant goodness into someone's life. Let every moment be a song of praise, a step on the path back to me. For what your heart has truly needed, from the very beginning until the very end, has always been me, the one who has loved you before time began, and who will never, ever stop. There may have been moments in the quietest hours of your life when you heard the gentle and tender echo of my voice, a soft calling, never forceful, yet deeply earnest, rising from the sacred depths. Perhaps you felt a stirring in your soul, something within that beckoned you toward a deeper dimension, a place where I have been waiting, with arms full of love. And yet, in the rush of life, amid the countless cares that pile upon your days, you may have whispered to yourself, "Not now, maybe later." Perhaps you made a quiet promise to your soul that one day, when responsibilities lighten, when life becomes easier, or when you feel stronger and more ready, you would begin your spiritual journey in earnest. But my beloved child, can you be certain that tomorrow will come as you hope? Can you truly guarantee that your heart will remain tender, your soul still soft enough to hear my call once more? Child, the only moment that truly belongs to you is this present one. Right now, as you read these words, while breath still flows through you and your heart beats steadily within your chest, this is the moment of truth, the sacred instant in which I, with all the urgency of love beyond time, am reaching out to you, not because I need you, but because I know you cannot live fully without me. Not because I wish to impose anything upon you, but because I cannot remain silent while you wander through a world of illusions and deceit. I love you too much to let you drift away, quietly and alone, amid fleeting things. My love cannot stand idly by while your soul edges further from the light. That is why today, this very moment, I speak not with wrath or judgment, but from a heart full of ache and hope. This may be the final moment I knock upon the door of your heart before great changes arrive, before the gate of opportunity closes and a new era begins in which not every door remains open. Do you know, across this earth there are so many souls like yours, those who once sensed my presence, were once touched, once moved, and yet allowed my calling to slip past them like a passing breeze. They postponed it for a tomorrow that never came, and today they no longer hear anything, not because I have grown silent, but because their hearts have become too callous to recognize me. I do not want that to happen to you, my precious one. I see what you are facing. I know the weight you carry, the twists and turns of your path, the quiet sorrows you dare not speak to anyone. I understand. Living in this world is not easy. But this is precisely why I long for you, not to delay any longer. For I am the only refuge that will never be shaken. I am the living water in your desert. I am the steadfast arm that upholds you through every storm. Do not wait until everything falls apart to seek me. Do not wait until no one remains beside you to turn back and ask, "Are you there?" For I am here, right now, so near, and my heart trembles with longing for your return. I do not wait for you to be perfect. I wait for you to be willing. And willingness does not lie in some far-off tomorrow. It begins in the very moment you open your heart to me. Oh, my child, look around at the world. Everything is shifting at an alarming pace. The old foundations are trembling. What once seemed unshakable is now cracking. Truth is beginning to surface, and darkness is fighting desperately to conceal what little it has left. This is no longer the time for hesitation or delay. This is the hour of spiritual action. It is the time for your soul to be firmly anchored in the only foundation that will remain: me. I do not promise that you will never encounter pain, but I do promise that you will never have to face it alone. I do not tell you that the road ahead will be smooth, but I assure you that with every step you take, I will walk with you. And when you grow weary, I will carry you in my arms of unceasing love. I will teach you how to see life through new eyes, eyes not limited by circumstance, but illuminated by eternal life. You have delayed before, you have turned away, you have lost your way, but none of that matters now, because I am still here, and your return today stirs all of heaven. Every soul that finds its way back is a new melody in the symphony of grace. Do not be ashamed of your past. Do not be afraid of your mistakes. My love is great enough to erase it all. My blood was poured out for you, not so that you would carry the burden of guilt forever, but so that you might walk freely in the light. Choose me today, not out of fear, but in response to love. Let the knowledge that you are unconditionally loved draw you home. You do not need to strive to be worthy. True love does not require that. I do not love you because you are good. I love you so that you may be transformed. And one day when you look back on your life, you will see that your decision to return to me in this very moment was the most precious choice you ever made. It will be the solid ground beneath your feet in every storm, the light in your darkest nights, the melody of comfort in your most exhausted hours. My beloved child, life will not always be as gentle as a breeze across a field of flowers. There will be days when dark clouds gather, trials descend like sudden storms, and moments when all your efforts seem to vanish like dust in the wind. There will be days when you grow weary and no one notices, long nights where you wrestle with questions that have no answers. Life on this earth is a journey marked by both sunshine and storms, by joy and by tears. And while I do not promise you a path without hardship, I do promise you this: you will never have to walk it alone. Now you know the place where you can always return when the weight of the world becomes too much to bear. You have found the safe shelter for your soul, where my arms are forever open to welcome you. No matter how far you've gone, no matter how deep the wounds you carry, I am still the home you can return to. Do not hesitate to come back. Do not think you've gone too far. It is never too late to return to my embrace. If there are times when you feel weak, when you stumble, or feel as if you cannot go on, remember this: you can return at any moment. With just a whisper from your heart, I will come. With a single breath of faith, I will answer. If you open your heart, I will enter. I am never more than one prayer away. Talk to me, not with elaborate words, but with the honest language of your heart, whether it's stammering through pain or silent tears that words cannot hold. I understand, and I listen. I listen not only with ears, but with the heart of a father who feels every ache you carry. I see even what you cannot express, and I embrace even the things you are most ashamed to bring before me. In the moments that seem to be the most silent, when you hear nothing, when the heavens feel still and unresponsive to your call, do not hastily assume that I have turned away. My beloved, sometimes silence is the very way I am holding you most intimately, for there are lessons that can only be understood within the quiet. Do not fear the silence, for in the heart of stillness I am still speaking. I speak to you through the stirrings of your spirit, through the compassionate gaze of a stranger, through a hand that reaches out at the perfect time, through a sudden word spoken just when you need it most. And there are times I will speak to you like I am now, directly, tenderly, through these very words, through these very lines. These are not merely words. This is my breath, my heart, my life being poured into you. Open your heart and receive. Let each word sink deep into your soul, like rain falling upon parched ground, awakening seeds of life you thought had long withered. Treasure this connection between us. Let it become the very breath of your soul. When you keep me close, you will receive renewed strength each day. Not physical strength, but an inner power from the heavens. A strength that steadies you when everything around you shakes. That enables you to forgive when you've been betrayed, and to hope when there seems no reason left to hope. You will grow, not merely in years, but in the depth of your faith. Every trial you overcome will mark a step in your spiritual maturity. Every time you fall and rise again, you will see more clearly who it is that lifts you. And every time you choose to return to me, you will come to understand more fully the true meaning of unconditional love. A love that this world cannot give and cannot take away. Do not fear weariness. Do not shy away from weakness. These do not lessen your worth in my eyes. On the contrary, it is in those very moments that you are closest to me. For when your strength ends, that is when mine begins. When you have nothing left to cling to, that is when you grasp my hand the tightest. And when you feel utterly empty, that is when I fill you with my very life. You do not need to pretend to be strong in front of me. You may cry, you may be angry, you may ask questions, but do not walk away. Remain in my love, and you will see everything begin to shift. You will come to realize that peace does not come from having every detail of life in place, but from knowing with certainty who is walking beside you. Who is your unshakable refuge in a world that constantly changes? And with every step you take, remember, I am not only the one you run to in pain, I am also the one who walks with you in your brightest days. Share with me your joys, not only your sorrows. Tell me what makes you happy, not only what breaks you down, for I love all of you. Both your strength and your softness. My love is not just an umbrella in the rain. It is the sun after the storm, the warmth in winter's chill, the whisper in the stillness of the night, the steady root that allows your soul to take root, to grow and to bear fruit. Let that love become the very center of your life, not merely a support in time of need, but the eternal source of your being, my precious one. Keep holding on to the thread that connects you to me, the thread that cannot be broken by circumstances nor worn thin by time. Wherever you are, whatever you do, keep your heart turned toward me. Let me be the first one you run to when you need help, and the last one you whisper thanks to as the day closes. Because my love never changes, my presence is never absent, and my hand is always there, ready to take yours, to lead you through the difficult paths and to lift you higher than anything you've ever dreamed of. You are never alone. You are never forgotten. Because you are mine, chosen, beloved, and never forsaken. Now, lift up to me your sincere prayer. You may pray like this: Heavenly Father, your glory surpasses all that I could ever express. I bow in worship before you, for you alone are worthy of all honor, power, and eternal praise. Lord, please forgive me for chasing after empty things, for letting my heart drift far from you. I return to you now, hiding nothing, bringing all my mistakes, my failures, and my tears. Wash me clean by the blood of Jesus, and create in me a new heart, tender, genuine, and always longing for you. I no longer want to live in sin or fear. I want to live in the freedom you have given. Help me to repent daily and to walk humbly before you. Lord, break every chain of shame and guilt that still lingers in my heart. Let your peace reign like a sweet, living stream within my soul. I will no longer dwell in the past. I now live in the present, renewed by your grace. Keep me in your holy peace each day. Lord, I say yes to your calling over my life. I surrender every plan, every dream, every worry into your hands. Show me what I was created for, and give me the courage to walk in it. Even if the path is narrow, even if it's rocky, I know I will not lose my way as long as you are with me. Use my life as a vessel to carry your love and light to others. Lord, grant me an unshakable faith, a faith that stands firm through doubt and trials. Open my spiritual eyes to see more clearly what you are doing in and around me. Teach me to hear your voice above the noise of this world. Let my soul remain awake, never asleep, never distracted, but clinging to you as my only source of life. Awaken me whenever I begin to drift, and draw me back into your loving arms. Heavenly Father, I do not want to live blind to the time you have appointed. Keep my heart ever ready, not only to welcome the return of Jesus with joy, but also to prepare my soul daily, as if today were that very day. Cleanse my heart from everything that is useless, and help me live each day with reverence and hope. I want to live as a faithful servant, always awake, always ready, and with my lamp full of oil. Beloved Lord, I thank you for a love that never gives up on me. Thank you for seeing me not through the lens of my failures, but through the blood of your Son, Jesus Christ. Thank you for forgiving me when I confess my sins. Thank you for renewing me each morning, for giving me hope, and for healing even the deepest wounds. I know I am undeserving, but I thank you for choosing me and loving me to the end. Lord, I thank you for speaking directly to my heart through this message of love. I can feel your presence surrounding me, comforting me and guiding me. Thank you for not being silent, for not abandoning me, but for always showing up right on time with your call and your strength. I know that I am not alone, because you are holding my hand and will never let go. I thank you from the depths of my heart for being forever faithful. I offer this prayer in the holy name of Jesus Christ. Amen. If you love the Lord, don't forget to click subscribe and turn on notifications so you won't miss any of his life-giving messages. Together, we will grow in faith and live a life full in his love. Amen.